What's up, guys? Navajero here, bringing you guys an amazing offering from Cold Steel. This is the Cold Steel FM1 or Full Metal Atlas. This thing is freaking sick. I'm probably gonna repeat myself obnoxious amount of times and telling you guys how much I love this knife and how awesome it was to carry, how much I enjoyed carrying this thing. So before anything, it was a loaner by a good friend of the channel, which I really want to take a second to tell him thank you for trusting me with this knife. This is a very expensive knife, but that being said, thank you. And I absolutely enjoyed this knife, guys. I'm gonna be really much just repeating myself when I say that I absolutely love carrying this thing. So let's go ahead and just get into some cutting action for you guys. All right, so yeah, this thing was super fun to carry. Like I said, the Atlas lock is great. You have here the S35EN that holds retention of the edge of the blade for a fairly good amount of time. It definitely could tell the difference between these and some more budget and steels. I get hung up right here, but that's my fault. Like I did mention, the S35EN, it's something that you're not gonna have to worry about resharpening, maybe just stropping up and honing. But yeah, man, it's very light pressure that I'm putting on this right here, and it's slicing really well. It wasn't as sharp as it should be actually, just because I did use it a lot before even doing this little cut test right here. Here, I just wanted to show the drop point and how you can utilize that to do your draw cuts. And yeah, it's super easy with this. Just point it right down. Again, that drop point, you can utilize it for so many different EDC tasks or work. So I love a good drop point like this, and the thinness of the blade feels great in hand. This Atlas lock, man, I absolutely love it. You see me from time to time during this cut test just opening and closing it because it's so fun. And I did not spine whack this one just because it's not my knife, but I have seen videos out there. I think Cold Steel themselves have videos testing out this Atlas lock, and they're very well-respected locks that will not give. They definitely hold their own. And yeah, so again, just doing these cuts right here. Again, it wasn't as sharp as it should be. I just honed it and stuff, so it still cuts very well with that 0.11 inch thickness on the blade, and the thinness, it feels great in hand with that milling, nice and grippy and stuff. So yeah, man, this thing is awesome. I wanted to show also here kind of that drop point, how you can utilize that just to pierce and to poke into things to make your cuts, which I utilize that a lot at work. And again, this would make a great EDC or work knife. So yeah, with the lock in combination with all that, man, this thing is freaking awesome. I love it. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, let's go ahead and get to the boring details. We have a tip to butt of 8 inches overall, a blade length of 3.5 inches, and a handle length of 4.5 inches. We are rocking with what I mentioned, the S35VN here, that maintains an edge for a really good amount of time. I did only do some light stropping and ceramic, pretty much to hone it. And it is a harder steel. I'm not familiar with S35EN as I am with more of the budget end steels, so it took a couple passes to get it back to going through paper easily. But that being said, it is awesome that it retains an edge for such a long time. And as far as the blade itself, you see the finish here. It is supposed to be a stone wash, but the original owner of this wanted to kind of remove that stone wash, and I believe he did an acid etch on here and remove some of that stone wash, which I think looks really cool. It makes it look a little bit different, and I like the look of a worn in and used knife. I also believe he removed some of the lettering here. I think it says like Atlas or something, Full Metal Atlas or something like that, FM1 something. On here, I think he removed that. So yeah, really nice looking milling on here as well that I absolutely love. I mean, let me just focus in on that for you guys. Look at that freaking milling, guys. Some diamonds right there in between, and then you have, you know, it chamfered off on the sides right here. It's really, really nice work. It's a stone washed titanium, and you can see all the little details on there. I mean, it just, to me, it looks freaking awesome. Even these little small pieces that they left in of titanium right there, I mean, the little details right there are amazing. Those little triangles right there, that's freaking awesome. I love it. You have kind of a cutout right here to be able to access that thumb stud right here. And I should say, I believe he reversed this thumb stud as well. You can reverse it with a flathead right here, and one is longer than the other one, so just given your preference, you can swap it around. And the action, guys, on this is super smooth. This is running on, I believe, bronze washers and Teflon, which, you know, some people might, you know, look at that and say that it is maybe not going to have great action, but ultimately the more you use it when it comes to Teflon, the better the action gets. And this one has broken in so nicely. I'm sure he used it quite a lot before sending it to me, and it definitely has great action. The all-around feeling of opening it and closing it is extremely satisfying. Just the Atlas lock by itself is a super awesome and very strong locking mechanism. This is one that I did not, you know, want to spine whack just because it is not my knife, but there's videos on this lock right here, and it definitely is a strong locking system. You can, you know, find that readily available. So I don't think it was necessary to spine whack this thing. And the thinness of this is just amazing. I mean, this thing drops into your pocket and you hardly feel it. For it being an 8-inch knife, I mean, it's very thin, and it's perfect for EDC. It's going to be sliding in and out of the pocket very easily with this kind of smaller size pocket clip here that is reversible. So you do have availability for lefties if you want to go ahead and reverse that clip. Nice little, you know, cold steel, you know, it is dented in or pressed in right there, the cold steel right there. So that's a cool little detail on there as well. It does not have the clip inset though. That would have been nice if they would have inset it, but maybe because of the milling already, you know, they did go all the way with the milling. Maybe that's why they didn't do that. So that's fine. Some other things that I absolutely love, again, the locking mechanism on here, and just the feeling of robustness. Even though it's so thin, it does not feel dainty. It feels freaking solid. It feels extremely well made. The ergos on this, again, it is thin, so you would think maybe it's going to be uncomfortable, but the chamfered edges on here are so nicely chamfered that they just roll, and just they're so comfortable in hand. I mean, this is maybe a knife you wouldn't want to do extreme cutting with. I mean, you're not going to want to do anything as far as like very hard pressing tasks, like maybe through wood and stuff, just because, you know, since it is thinner, it's not going to be as comfortable as something that's, you know, a little bit thicker and fills in your hand. But as far as EDC, I think this is perfect because it feels so comfortable in hand because of the lightweightness. So if you're cutting through cardboard, Amazon packages, anything that is, you know, the lighter task or medium task cutting, you know, stuff, you're going to be freaking having a great time using this. And then the freaking just tolerances of I mean, it feels great, the tolerance of the Atlas lock. Some people might say it's a little light, but I think it's perfect. I mean, you can shake it out if you really try, but it feels really good. It doesn't have too much wiggle. I think it's great. It snaps right out. Again, extremely satisfying. And yeah, this blade thickness, I think, is perfect. This is, I mean, for EDC or work, I think even for work, this would be awesome. Not so much as someone that's working, you know, a job that's maybe needing something super robust. But as far as like any other, maybe just even regular blue collar jobs or trade jobs, this would be awesome because it is still thick. It's not a thin blade stock. So I think this thing works super awesome for a work knife as well. And then just look at the clearances on here, guys. I mean, the handle itself is so thin and the blade barely has room from the sides of these handles right here. But it's still, again, it's perfectly done right here. I mean, just amazing. This acts almost like a full backspacer. Also, this Atlas lock right here. You see the stop pin right there. Nice sharpening choil. You can see it up to here. You know, so you're gonna have a long life of sharpening on this, and since it doesn't need to be sharpened as often, I mean, it's gonna just last you a long time, guys. So man, this thing is just, it's freaking awesome. Trying to think if I forgot on anything because I'm so excited about just showing you guys this. It's great, guys. This is one that I can highly recommend. I'm already looking into getting one. They are on sale, I believe, on Amazon, and I will link everything down below that I show in the video. I'm going to show you guys some size comparisons as well. I'll link everything down below just so you guys can check it out. Actually, real quick, let's go ahead and, so the pivot on here is a T8. So you have a T8 pivot on there, and then I believe these are T6 on there, T6, and then it has a captive pivot. That's really nice as well. It's a cool little feature. So yeah, I mean, guys, this thing is freaking awesome. Let's do some size comparisons real quick. Again, everything will be linked down below. This Hodo driver with the magnetic pull-out thing right here with all the bits, 24-in-1, will also be linked. Super cool. Okay, so let's get into some budget stuff. This is the Ozark Trail Valor, as you can see it compared right there. So obviously a little bit bigger, the FM1 here. We have the CJRB Pyrite. This is the Alt edition. I have some what is this called, our Rips Garage Tech skin on here. I'll link that down below as well. And again, the cold steel is a little bit longer than this. Let's get these out of the way. We have here the Para 3 lightweight, and then we have here, I think this one might be a little bit closer. This is the Tactis Gear Frontier. And this one is a little bit smaller still than the cold steel. It does not feel like a big knife though. It doesn't feel like a big knife, especially not in hand or in pocket because of the thinness. So this is like a big, small knife. I don't know, it's great. I would not have thought I would like a, 8-inch or usually over 8 inches, that's kind of pushing it for me. Here is the Talisman L by Migaron. And this is this is very close, if not exactly, maybe, yeah, the Talisman I think is a little bit bigger by just a little bit, but very similar as far as the length. But this does not feel like a, you can feel the bigness and chunkiness of this one. This feels like a big knife, especially in my hand. Yeah, this thing feels huge. So again, this, you do not feel like it's a big knife. Sorry guys, my daughter's painting here and she just wanted to show me this, so I wanted to show it to you guys. She's painting a little, what is this, a sheep? It's a sheep? Yeah. Okay, and it's a little piggy bank too, so we'll go ahead and show that off for her. All right guys, so final thoughts on this. S35 yen, love it. Stonewashed titanium, love it. Milling on the titanium, I love it. Atlas lock, I absolutely love it. The overall thinness and fit and finish, I love it. It's great. Amazing work as far as all the fine details, all the tolerances and all the clearances in between are great, amazing. Of course I recommend this. I recommend this 100%. If you guys have not dealt with any higher end knives. And I say higher end because I usually stay in the budget range, $100 or less, or just over $100. I believe this one goes for around $250. I see it on sale on Amazon right now for about $160, $170. So if you guys are comfortable with that, I absolutely recommend this thing, because this is a one and done sometimes. This is going to be one that you can confidently buy and say that you could carry it to work, EDC. You can carry it out maybe to camp. It just has so many different ways that you could use this and be comfortable spending that amount of money, because you're getting such a great product. So yeah, definitely recommend it. Again, links down below. Huge thank you to the subscriber, more than that, a close friend of the channel, and for having me check this out. If you guys enjoy this, please consider subscribing, drop a like down below, and leave me any recommendations. I will catch you guys on the next one. Later.